In partnership with CloudNY, we are at Nasdaq's market site. My name is Christina Ayanian, and joining me today is CEO and co-founder of Capchase, Miguel Fernandez. Miguel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here, Christina.
Now, Capchase is a buy now, pay later solution for B2B SaaS. What does that mean, and what exactly does Capchase do?
Yeah, exactly. So at Capchase, we only work with B2B SaaS companies, as you mentioned, and we help them primarily to grow faster. We have a different suite of products. We help them mostly with financing, so revenue-based financing, with a B2B buy now, pay later product, which we actually made public yesterday, which is really cool, and then with software and automation solutions. But all of them are focused towards helping them to grow faster and better.
Can you elaborate on that B2B financing? How does it help your customers?
What gets people really excited about SaaS is that they have these really recurring and predictable revenue streams, right? So this is why SaaS companies typically trade publicly really well, because you can understand how the future revenues are going to look like by looking at the cohorts and the performance. The thing is that until all that recurring revenue starts to add up, SaaS companies need to spend a ton of money to develop the product, and then when they sign up customers, they realize a bunch of costs up front, related to customer acquisition, implementation, and so on. That means that when they sign customers, they are in the red, and then as the monthly payments come in, they start to recover the money, and then they make money in the long term, and they make a lot of money, right? They have very high gross margins too. So for that cash gap between building the product, signing up customers, and getting paid back, these companies have typically funded that gap with VC money. That is a great idea to start, but it ends up being dilutive. So most SaaS founders, when they come here and they ring the bell and they go public, they only own between 15% to 18% across the whole founding team, because they've sold parts of the business to fund that cash gap as they grow. What we do is we understand those predictable revenues really well, and we enable founders to tap into those predictable revenues so they can complement their VC money and fill that gap with non-dilutive capital so that they can grow faster and dilute themselves less.
That's incredible. It sounds like you're really enabling flexible finance strategies.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're doing.
And you also mentioned that you recently launched Capchase Pay. Can you talk a little bit about that and what it is?
Yeah, so Capchase Pay actually was the original idea. We really wanted, I was running a SaaS sales team before, and every time a customer wanted to buy the product, they always asked to pay monthly or quarterly or late. And we as a SaaS company, we couldn't allow that because we needed to recover all those costs as quickly as possible. So we were incentivizing them to pay up front, and the only tool we had at the time was to give a very large discount. The average discount in the industry is about 17%. It goes all the way up to 30 or 40% in some cases, right? So with that discount, buyers would be incentivized to pay up front for the product. So when we're looking at ways to solve that pain, we came up with a tool that SaaS companies could use to extend flexible payment terms, but always get all the cash up front. So for the last 3 years, we couldn't do that. It was too complex. So we did the revenue-based financing product that I mentioned. We became leaders in this space, and now is the perfect time to launch Capchase Pay to solve that pain at the point of sale. And basically what it is that a salesperson would go with their prospect, they will negotiate, and when they decide on what the price is going to be for the yearly contract, if the end buyer wants to pay monthly, then Capchase Pay gets introduced as a payment method. So the vendor gets all the cash up front through Capchase, and the buyer can pay flexibly. So then everybody is happy. The buyer gets the working capital to pay monthly for a SaaS product, and the SaaS company gets all the cash up front to recover all those sunk costs.
Everyone benefits.
Everybody benefits, yeah.
Why is it now that you launched Capchase Pay? What was the strategy behind it?
So first of all, we needed to learn more about the SaaS industry, and now we're working with thousands of customers. We really understand it extremely well, and also the macro environment is just really suited for this product right now. We started to see from October 2021 how sales cycles were getting extended and how conversion was dropping, across the B2B SaaS industry. And the reason why is because buyers were much more conscious about money. It was way harder to find budget. Inflation was really high, so there was no incentive for a buyer to pay up front for anything, because they could be making a lot of money on that cash, and there was no solution for it. So now is the perfect time because of that, because at the same time VC money dried up, so SaaS companies don't have money to finance their customers' purchases, to give them flexible payment terms. So you have this perfect storm where SaaS companies need cash up front more than ever because there's no source of funding. VCs are not putting money. There's not a lot of venture debt with all the regional banks dying and so on. And also, buyers really want to pay monthly. They don't want to pay upfront for similar reasons, right? They want to keep to the money as much as possible. So this is the perfect time to come in with Capchase Pay and bridge that gap.
It really sounds like Capchase is really the resource that companies need to achieve their goals.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. And we're seeing Capchase Pay. We launched it publicly yesterday. We have been working on it since October, something like that. And it is our fastest growing product to date. And we're signing up customers from a few $100,000 of revenue all the way to public companies with hundreds of millions of annual recurring revenue.
And you've built this company from ground up with an incredible team. Do you have any advice for entrepreneurs looking to start out either in this space or just looking to make that step forward?
Yeah, so we started from scratch. We were figuring out a lot of things as we went, to be honest. So I would say that my advice to founders is just everything you do, you just have to talk to customers, because the gravity of the market is going to determine whether the idea is good or not. And a lot of ideas are perfect in paper, but until you get one customer to pay for it, they're just an idea, right? So my advice would be to talk to as many customers as possible. You don't need to talk to 1,000. As soon as you get like 5 or 8 people that have a common pain and a common problem and a common idea of how to solve that problem, that is when it's enough to go build a team and try to just set up a skunk team to build an MVP that these customers will appreciate. And then, it's off to the races.
And then it's just up from there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Of course.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so much,
joining us.
Christina.